Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Babatunde Ogunbayo. I'm here to present our papers titled Challenges of Public-Private Partnership in Low-Income Housing Provision Nigeria. Authors are Ogunbayo BF, Agbavua CEO, and Akwa Akuradewo. Introduction. Housing is a right because it embraces other utilities and social services that make a community livable. AB 2009. It determines the general well-being of society at large. Ajanleko 2002. Adedeji and Olutua 2012 postulated that housing provision in most developing countries, especially Nigeria, is fraught with an excess of problems for low-income earners who constitute most of the country population. According to AB and Ajanleko 2002, and AB 2009, the major challenges faced by most developing countries are provisions of housing that are affordable for low-income earners. Despite the contribution of PPPs to housing development, the level of accessibility of low-income earners to housing in developing countries is still very low. Adedeji et al. 2012. This study is aimed to appraise the challenges of PPPs in low-income housing provision. Literature review, Osekai and Shai 2017 noted that in bidding for PPP's low-income housing projects, an elaborate risk management plan and proper legislation should be provided to avoid challenges during execution of the PPP's housing project. These challenges include access to housing input, together with the access to land and fund, IBM and Amoli 2014. Olatua et al. 2009 further stated that the lack of standard assessment of public housing programs, policies, and proper monitoring is a challenge that affects the sources of PPP's low-income housing provision. IBM et al. 2014 observed that funding, access to land, government policy, and others have an adverse effect on the perfect execution of PPP's housing production and provision. These challenges deprive PPP's housing providers in Nigeria of meeting the demand for housing by low-income earners. Methodology. This study was carried out among professionals who have previously anticipated in the PPP's housing, who have previously participated in the PPP's housing delivery system for low-income housing projects. They include government officials, registered quantity surveyors, builders, architects, civil engineers, and consultants involved in different government PPP's projects within Lagos State and Tevarum in Nigeria. The respondent for the study was selected for this study because of their experience and involvement in PPP's project. The study was limited to Lagos because it has many PPP's low-income housing completed and ongoing in the Nigerian housing provisions. Through a systematic random sampling method, 100 copies of structured questionnaires were administered to the respondent and 84 were retrieved from the respondents. Methodology continue. The systematic random sampling method was used for this study because it is easier and more direct and tend to eliminate the possibility of clustering that could occur when random sampling is adopted. The method also tends to cover all the elements evenly. The questionnaire was designed in 5 points like a scale, and it recorded an 84% response rate. This helped this study identify challenges encountered during the plan and execution stage of PPP's low-income housing provisions within the study. Data were analyzed using frequency and percentage and presented using chart. As shown on my screen now, figure 1 shows the respondent profession as a PPP contributors. The result shows that 22.62% of the respondent are builders, 15.48% of the respondent are quantity surveyors, 17.86% are architects, 14.29% are consultants, while 16.66% are government officials, and 13.09% are civil engineers. Figure 2, review respondent years of experience in PPP low-income housing provision. The result shows that 9.53% of the respondent have 0 to 5 years of experience, 27.3% have 6 to 10 years of experience, 46.43% have 11 to 25 years of experience, while 16.66% of the respondent have above 25 years of experience. As shown on my screen further, figure 3, review respondent opinion on the challenges faced in the accessing land for PPP project. The result indicated that 48.81% of the respondents stated that the challenges of accessing land for PPP low-income housing are very high. 32.14% indicated that it is high, while 13.1% said that it is of average, and 5.9% stated that challenges of accessing land for low-income housing projects are on a very low trend. Figure 4 shows the challenges in the security of The security of title and tenure document required for PPP low-income housing project documentation. Respondent with 22.62% stated that the challenge of the process are very high. 45.24% of the respondents stated that the challenge of processing the document are high. 17.86% stated that it is on average, while 14.28% said that the challenges of processing the security of title for low-income housing project are on the very low side. Figure 5 shows challenges due to faulty design PPP low-income housing provision. Results indicated that responded with 50% agree that challenges of faulty design are very high. 27.3% stated that the challenges of error in design for PPP low-income housing are high, while 13.10% said the challenges of faulty design are on the average level, and 9.52% of the respondents believe that the challenges are very low. Figure 6 reviewed the challenge of scarce and high building material costs in PPP low-income housing provision. Respondent with 48.81% stated that the challenge of the scarce and high price of building material required for low-income housing production are very high. 34.52% of the respondents stated that the challenges are very high. 13.1% indicated that it is of average, while 3.57% said that the scarce and high cost of building material challenge for low-income house project are on a very low side. Figure 7 reviewed the challenges of skilled labor required in the execution of PPP's low-income housing provision. The results showed that respondents with 22.62% agree that the challenge of skilled labor required for low-income housing production are very high. 32.14% said that the challenges are high, while 23.81% said the challenges are of average, and 21.42% of the respondents said that the challenge is very low. Figure 8 shows shows challenges of assessing low interest fund for PPP low income housing provision. The result indicated that respondent with 55.95% agree that the challenges of assessing low interest funds are very high. 25% said that the challenges are high, while 16.67% stated that the challenges of the low interest funds are of an average, and 2.38% of the respondents believe that challenges are very low. Figure 9 reviewed the method of recouping invested fund in case of unanticipated challenges during the planning or execution of the PPP's low-income housing project. 42.6% of the respondents stated that renegotiation is the best method of recouping investment in case of unanticipated challenges. 36.9% said that resorting to arbitration is the best method, while 20.324% stated that going to the court of law is the best method of recouping an investment fund in PPP low-income housing project in case of unexpected challenges, and 2.3% of the respondents believe that challenges are very low. Conclusion: the study appraises the challenges of PPP in low-income housing provisions in Nigeria. The study identifies access to land, faulty design, the security of title and tenure, the high cost of building materials, and access to funding with low interest as major challenges that affect the low-income housing process and eventual provisions. The study therefore suggested that funding, existing laws, and the use of financial capacity need to be considered in the planning stage of PPP low-income housing to avoid challenges that could create neglect of the provided low-income housing projects. Finally, the study concluded that housing provision for low-income areas should not be based on political gain, but the political will of both the public and private sector involved. A proper administrative housing system should guide these to meet low-income housing needs and reduce homelessness. The study contributed to the body of knowledge by making the government and private institutions involved in the PPP project identify challenges anticipated in providing affordable PPP's low-income housing towards reducing homelessness. Thank you for listening.